Happy harvest, full moon, everyone. I wanted to pop on and do a full moon spread for us in the general collective. This is a general reading. If it does not resonate within the first few minutes, turn it off. It is not meant for you. If you feel resonance with the things I'm saying or the story that's being shown in the cards, then listen carefully. Some of these messages may be for you. It is also normal that some of the messages may be for you, and then maybe one or two of them might not be. So don't force things to fit, okay? We are at the harvest full moon. It is now October, I think 2nd, 2020. But the date doesn't really matter. These readings are meant to be timeless. If you're finding this reading way in the future or even a few months from now, that's when you were meant to find the messages. Okay? So this full moon, most full moons are kind of about like reflecting on the last moon cycle, which is a month, right? So reflecting on the last month and kind of getting an understanding of things you may need to let go of, right? That's what it means when you hear people talk about releasing. Because I know there are a lot of buzzwords that get used and nobody really understands what that means. So releasing is basically letting something go that's not serving you, that's not helping you better yourself in your life. If you're surrounding yourself with people that are really low vibration and are struggling with their own things, like addiction or depression or anger or shame, any of those things, like chances are then you start to feel those things as well, because that's how energy works, right? Energy surrounds us. And you know how sometimes you can walk into a room and immediately feel like, ooh, the vibe is off in here. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you ignore those like gut feelings that are like, ugh, I'm not loving, I don't feel comfortable here. This room doesn't feel like homey and welcoming, right? So, when you have a person in your life or a thing, it could be like alcohol is a thing, drugs are a thing, overeating is a thing, starving yourself is a thing, working out too much is a thing, being a workaholic, right? These are all things that hold us back from being happy and being balanced, because when you're doing too much of anything, that's not good, okay? Because you're thrown out of balance, even if you think it's a good thing. Like, I know a lot of people think being a workaholic is like totally fine, but that's just as unhealthy as being an alcoholic, right? Or having an addiction of some kind, because too much of anything causes us stress, and when there's a lot of stress, then we start to get sick, right? So it's all connected. So when we talk about releasing or letting things go, what we really are talking about doing is kind of like evaluate the things in your life in the last month. And this is why journaling can be so good, because sometimes it's good to just look back over the last month and kind of see what you were writing about. What were the issues? What were the things you were struggling with? Those things now on a full moon, we want to try to let those things go and not be attached to them and not take them in as part of our identity, right? When I say don't be too attached, or there's an attachment problem, oops, that's funny. That is what I'm talking about, is things that we like pull in and make part of our identity. trauma, we do that a lot. Humans do that a lot. We take traumas we've had and we tell the story over and over and over again. And I do understand you do have to tell the story and express yourself to heal from it. That is correct. But there's a difference between acknowledging, feeling, understanding, and expressing those emotions and then wallowing in them and lingering in them, because that's when you start to get in like victim mode, right? Victim mode isn't good because that really keeps you low vibration as well. So anyway, back to what I was saying is, you know, we release because it's healthier for us to be in an environment and be around people that have a similar energy field as us, because then you can relax and be yourself, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you're like walking on eggshells all the time? That's because the energy is off between those two people, and neither one of them feel, or one of them or neither one of them feel like they can be themselves and like relax, because their energy is on a different vibration, so on a different sound frequency. So when you connect with somebody, right, that's like when you're on the same sound frequency, your energy's on the same sound frequency, and you're like, oh my God, I'm having such a good time. And like you're finishing each other's sentences, right? That's real good energy. That's being on the same frequency with somebody. You can definitely tell when you're not on the same frequency with somebody. And if you surround yourself with a lot of people that are not on the same frequency as you and they're lower than you, and this is just vibration. This is not like you're better than that, you know, higher vibration people are not better than lower vibration people. It's just higher vibration people are further along on the journey and have learned from their lessons and integrated what they've learned, okay? So I should stop yapping, my guides are saying, and get onto the cards. But really quickly, I do want to say, this full moon in particular is the harvest full moon, happens once a year around the fall, and it brings in powerful cosmic energies that will help us overcome challenges. Those things that are blocking us and standing in the way of us achieving like our goals and our dreams, right? So this harvest full moon is very powerful for that reason, because we're trying to release and let go and detach from anything that's not helping us, anything that's not supporting us moving towards our goals. And this full moon in particular will restore and clear any emotional baggage you're still carrying around that may be blocking you. Okay? So what's to come in the next month with this full moon is said to be energies of abundance and growth and unexpected blessings. So just keep that in mind. If we can kind of reflect on the things we need to detach ourselves from, and we can successfully do that and learn from our mistakes and moving forward not repeat the same patterns or mistakes, then we're moving into a really beautiful energy right now, an energy that will support abundance, growth, greatness, right? Unexpected blessings. Who doesn't want all that? Okay, so with that being said, let's see what the cards have to say about this full moon. All right, so what can we expect